is mindfulness and meditation. And what I thought it would do is really make it quite experiential, because it's something that we want to experience. And so explaining the Raja Yoga meditation, some of you may already know because you might have already done the course, but also just looking at how mindfulness for me fits into, in a way, Raja Yoga meditation. And so it's amazing how mindfulness has really kicked off and is now available in schools. Businesses are running mindfulness sessions. And I know as a primary school teacher, seeing the effect that it has on young children has been quite remarkable. And children that really found it difficult to just be still, you can see them sitting in a really focused way for some moments. And so it really is an opportunity for people to become relaxed, to become calm, and really allowing people to be in the moment, to be in the present, and not judging it, but completely accepting it. And we all know that during the current times, how much is our thoughts in the now? I think for many people, it's about the future. It's about what's going to happen when, you know, the lockdown is easing off, but what's the after effect of that? And I think we have some idea, but yet to be seen. And so I think it's very hard to be, for many of us, in the moment when things externally are quite unpredictable. And so mindfulness is really rooted in Buddhism. And although it's rooted there in that religion, I think most religions have some kind of method of prayer or meditation to begin to allow people to really bring the thoughts back to something positive and powerful. And so what I'd like to do is really start off with a mindfulness exercise. And I don't really, there is a difference, but I think the benefits for meditation and mindfulness is really similar for both. And for mindfulness, it's definitely the case where you feel much more engaged in what you're doing. You're much more present. How many times are you doing one thing, but the mind is going outside? I remember a friend of mine sharing her experience, and she was doing the Raja Yoga meditation course at the time. And she basically watched herself one Saturday morning. She was going shopping, and she saw that she was a shop ahead. So this was in Southern Africa, but let's take the shops here. So let's say she was in Asda and she was paying for her shopping. And while she was paying, she was already in another shop, already in Savers or Superdrug. And so she found that she was a shop ahead every time, and she was about to put the key in ignition. She was already cooking the dinner. And so she just said to her, stop. She just said to herself, stop, where am I in my mind? And it's good just to check, even after the session, where are we in terms of our thoughts? And many, many times we are not in the moment. And it's very hard then to really appreciate the now and to appreciate the subtle things that happen to us in everyday life. And so one is increased appreciation. Second is being fully engaged in whatever I'm doing. But the other aspects are more common. We often hear that it helps to reduce stress, it helps to reduce chronic pain. And so all of these are factors that mindfulness brings to people's lives, and also meditation. So like I said, let's start with meditation. I'd like to do a few meditations during this session, just to really see how mindfulness really acts as a foundation for the other steps of Raja Yoga meditation. So I'm going to take you through those steps and at the same time make it practical and hopefully experiential. So I know when we're on Zoom, it's not very practical to play music as well. So we're just going to have no music, but I'll guide your thoughts. So make sure you're sitting comfortably. I can see some of you are sitting comfortably in your chairs. Can't see everybody. But so we're just going to start with a relaxation, a bit of breathing, a bit of mindfulness, being present, using our sense organs, and then looking at the mind. Is there somebody speaking? Is it clear? Okay, so just sit comfortably. And we're going to just start off by relaxing the different parts of our body. So we're going to focus on our feet and just relax that area, the feet, the toes. Relaxing our legs, and just let the legs go, because often we're sitting with the legs quite sort of squeezed together. So just consciously, just let the legs go and be completely relaxed. moving up to the muscles in the stomach. And the stomach is often the part of the body where anxiety sits. And so right now in this space, consciously relax and let go of any tension that might be in that part of the body. So just releasing the muscles in the stomach, any tension there, and letting go completely. Moving up to the chest, the shoulders. And now once again, another sensitive area of the body where tightness and tension can sit. So consciously just drop the shoulders, release them down, and just feel that you might just want to loosen them up slightly, just making sure there's no tension there. And so just releasing any tightness or tension in the shoulders. Moving down through the arms and relaxing the fingers and letting the arms be very loose, very relaxed. Coming back up through the arms and now relaxing the muscles in the neck. And once again, people often suffer from stiff necks, and that's where tension can also sit in the body. So just very gently, just move the neck from side to side, maybe just down and around, to make sure that there's nothing that's tight and everything is loose and relaxed. And now just relaxing the muscles in the face, making sure the jaw's not clenched too tightly, and allowing the body to become very still, very light, very relaxed. And as that happens, just focusing on your breathing and making sure your breaths are even. And as you breathe in and as you breathe out, just see if you can relax even more, using your breath to take you into a deeper relaxation mode. So just breathing in and breathing out. And just noticing how the chest rises and falls as you breathe in and you breathe out. And now just become aware of your physical surroundings. If your eyes are closed, you may need to open them. Just become aware of the colors in the room, the shapes. Notice how things are positioned. Just notice everything in front of you and notice the detail of everything too. Maybe designs on a piece of furniture, whatever it may be. Just become aware of your physical surroundings. And now become aware of the sounds outside of the room you're in. What can you hear? And now become aware of the sounds in the room. And be aware of the sound of your own breath. But also the sound of your own mind. And so in a way, our thoughts make a kind of inner sound. And in this space of silence, just become the observer of your own mind and tune into the sound of your own thoughts, letting each thought come and go, not judging them, but just watching them, each thought. And notice the silence inside yourself. And now as you observe your own thoughts, See if you can become aware of the spaces between the thoughts. Every thought that we create has a space. See if you can just become aware of the spaces between your thoughts. It's a silent, peaceful space that I can experience if I'm completely present. And so just the space between the thoughts. And notice when I'm doing this, that it takes me into a deeper state of relaxation, a deeper state of being with myself, present with myself, and present in this moment. So very gradually, just become aware of where you're sitting. Feel your hands on your lap, back against the chair. And just be aware of that silence, that silent space that you just created for yourself. Om Shanti. Thank you. So, I'm not sure how this session works, but I normally ask people after a meditation on a scale of 1 to 10, what was the level of your concentration? But we can actually, you can note it now, and then we're going to do a couple more meditations and see if that changes, the number changes. And so yes, and I think it's very useful just to get to a point of silence with myself, because we often have the habit of being very action orientated. Okay, so Diane, you've written a 5 there, thanks. I don't know who's managing the chat. Usha, shall I manage it? Yeah, you'll manage it? Okay, right. So, yes, I was saying that often it's so easy to get caught up with things that we're doing, and how often do we really sit, even stand, and just create moments of silence or stillness. It doesn't require a huge amount of time. People think, I don't have time to meditate, I don't have time to stop, but it's really a couple of minutes during the day, stopping and just checking in with where the mind is and what the mind is doing. And so for those of you who know us, you know that we have a system called traffic control, where we stop at different times during the day for just 1 minute. And it's a chance to check in. And you might want to call that, for some, it might be a mindfulness moment where they're just becoming aware of where they are physically, becoming aware of their breath. And so that's a very important foundation for me, Raj Yoga meditation. So that's the first step, I feel, is becoming aware of and being present of myself and my surroundings. But then what I'd like to do is look at Raj Yoga meditation, which of course some of you might be familiar with. And Raj Yoga, for me, different ways of interpreting it, but Raja, which literally means king, and yoga means connection. And so it really means having a higher consciousness, being able to experience, if you like, my higher self. And for me, that means being able to really experience my inner qualities, my inner treasures. And unless I am present in the moment, it's very hard to focus on myself, my higher self, in a very practical way. So if I'm allowing myself to get influenced by various factors, then it's like a distraction, and I lose the opportunity to really explore myself on a deeper level. And I was just observing myself the other day, and there were many things going on, and I saw how just allowing the mind to be in the moment. I think I might have been in the kitchen cooking, and my mind was racing, something had happened. And I saw that the mind was getting lost in the detail of a situation. And I just, in that moment, I was with, I can't remember, I think I was making some soup or something. And so at that moment, I was just with the carrot. I was peeling it, and I just brought my attention back to what I was doing at that point. And I noticed how it gave me just a second to redirect my thoughts, my awareness. And so if I allow the mind to get influenced and pulled in all directions, which happens for all of us, definitely, then what I feel it really prevents me from really doing that inner work and using that, in a way, subtle power to see myself on a deeper level. Because every thought I create is a sort of a form of energy. And if I'm creating so many thoughts, then I don't have the real spiritual power that I need to really find and use those inner treasures. And so mindfulness being a very, very important part. I know people, even who've meditated for many, many years, they, in a way, we have the technique of Raja Yoga meditation going inside, but I'm not relaxed. I've come home from work. I think, let me do my meditation now. And it can be a little bit robotic. And I don't allow myself just to go through the steps, if you like, so I'm able to really feel and experience peace, happiness, and love, and power, and wisdom. These are the qualities that we all have. And so first step is relaxation or mindfulness, becoming aware of the present, if you like. Second step is being able to journey inside and experience my inner qualities. And for that, I need a foundation of mindfulness. And so exploring what peace is for me, what peace feels like. And so it's not just enough to be in the present moment, but I need to be able to check, what am I doing and how am I doing things in the present moment? Because what tends to happen is that we can separate our sort of meditation world or spiritual life, whatever we do, whatever practice we have, and we say, this is my time for meditation, but now I'm at work, I have to be like this because there's a very challenging work situation. And so it's almost like I'm living two separate worlds. And what we're saying is that meditation is a way of life. And so I need to bring that consciousness, those qualities, if you like, into action. And I can't do that unless I spend some time in silence, exploring and feeling those qualities in a very practical way. And so every single person, I feel, is looking for a deep experience of peace and happiness and love. But we look for it in different ways. We're looking for it outside of ourselves, or what we experience is something very temporary. And I think if you were to ask, I don't know how many people in Bradford, if you like, what do you want? And they might say, I want money, I want to be successful, da, da, da. So why do you want to feel, why do you want those things? And at the end of the day, I really believe they would say that I want to be peaceful, I want to be happy. And I think part of meditation or Raja Yoga meditation is about really redefining those qualities, because in a way they have become quite distorted. So for example, love has really been, I think, mixed with attachment, and it's often confused, or dependency or desire. And love is something which is healing, which is very, very unconditional. It's something that's a part of me. And when I think that attachment is love, then I get into dependency, I get into expectations, and then I move away from the qualities that I'm trying to experience on a practical level. And so even happiness is the state of mind, it's what we are inside, but of course we look for external things to trigger that. And that lovely opening slide that Manish had up with the sea took me back to when I was in Southern Africa, and they've got some beautiful places there. And definitely if I just visualize that those lovely beaches, I can feel a sense of happiness right now. But of course it's limited because I'm not there, and I can't always be visualizing nice things that have happened to me. And so I think what's happened over time is that we've looked for, or we've become reliant on sort of temporary forms of happiness. So be it excitement or stimulation or acquisition, where I'm buying something new and I get very excited about whatever that thing is, a new car, and all of those things. And of course, yes, it does bring happiness, but it's not sustainable. And of course, all of those things have simply triggered something that's been inside of me. So I feel where meditation starts and mindfulness ends, if you like, is here, because I need to explore for myself what those qualities really feel like. It's not just a definition of them, but can I create space in my day to give myself an opportunity to really feel the peace that I am? And we'll do a meditation a little bit later, just to explore that. And what I'm hoping is that whatever exercises we do here together, that you can do on your own at home. And so the first exercise is just, and some of you may already be doing that, just relaxation, just becoming aware of your breathing, seeing if you can watch your thoughts, the space between your thoughts. So hopefully a few tools that you can practice outside of this session today. And so step 2 is being able to journey inside and begin to explore those qualities that I am. Because when I do that in meditation, what it does, it breaks the belief that I need something or someone to make me feel a certain way. I'm not saying we're living in isolation in a cave. We have relationships, but it's what I can bring to that relationship if I myself is in a good space and I'm feeling comfortable and well inside. And so being able to explore my own qualities so that they come into action. And it's not that I just benefit, but the people around me also benefit from those qualities. And so I think I'll move on to step 3, and then we'll have a meditation to combine all 3 steps. So we'll go back to the mindfulness step, if you like, and then go into the journeying inside and discovering our inner qualities. But the 3rd step is really being able to recognize the source of those qualities. And it's very much connected to, as many of you may already know, to my sense of identity, my sense of self. And so how I see myself, how I relate to myself, is going to determine how much I experience in action the qualities of peace and stability and happiness. And so in Raja Yoga meditation, we talk about ourselves being a spiritual being, a soul. And even though we may have done the course and we may know that sort of theoretically, how much of our day is really in that consciousness? Because if I really am connected to my inner being, and the soul is just a tiny point of light situated here, if I'm really in that higher consciousness, then actually it's not possible not to be in the moment, if that makes sense. It's not possible to be angry or to be fearful. I think all of these habits, if you like, come because I'm not connected to myself as I really am. And I think that's, for me, a very important part of meditation, to be able to really connect to myself as I am and to know myself as I truly am, not what I've been told by other people, but really to feel myself on a deeper level. And I think one of the blocks for many of us is the attachments that we have to other people, to our ideas, but most of all to this physical body and the roles and labels attached to that body. And so if I see myself as a female, as a teacher, all of those things, and I'm getting feedback which is negative about those things, then it's how easy will it be for me to be stable and even mindful at that point. Mind will be going and thinking about what that person said about my role or about the label. And so part of, for me, meditation is really going beyond that physical identity and really beginning to explore myself as a spiritual being, as light, as energy. And when I do that, then the vibrations that we create not just heal me and even serve me and my physical body, but it actually serves the atmosphere. And I think right now, there is a lot of fear, there is a lot of insecurity, and what people need is a powerful atmosphere An atmosphere is created by what we create in our minds, our thoughts. And so wherever we are, now the centers, we're not able to go to the centers. But I feel in a way during this period, for those who meditate in whichever form, it's been a chance to really make our homes into little centers. Because the more I meditate, the more the atmosphere around me changes. And even if nobody else in your house is meditating, but you are, that becomes, in a way, a sense of service, not a sense of service, but a way in which you can serve them, not by words. People are tired of hearing things, actually. What people want to do is they want to feel things. And they can only feel things if my consciousness is aligned with my true identity. And so for me, mindfulness is the foundation, is the first brick, if you like, to be able to get me to a space where I'm able to experience my subtle self. If I'm not relaxed, if my mind is all over the place, how on earth am I going to be able to experience the subtleties, the subtle form of myself being just energy and light? So let's just take a pause and let's see if we can have another experience of experiencing those three qualities. So once again, I'm going to really start with a short relaxation, very short mindfulness exercise, and then build on it from there to explore the inner qualities and the sense of identity a lot more. Okay, so again, so you're just going to sit comfortably once again. And if you want to close your eyes while you're relaxing the body, you may. Or if you just want to focus on a point in front of you. In Raja Yoga meditation, it's open eyes meditation. So you can simply just keep your eyes open and focus on a point in front of you. And so sitting comfortably, relaxing the body, and just checking in that everything's relaxed. My legs are loose, shoulders are down, neck is relaxed, and my jaw's not clenched too tightly. And so just relaxing the body and allowing the body to be very still and quiet. And now just focus on your breathing and just noticing how your chest rises and falls as you breathe in and you breathe out. If any other thoughts come in the way, just go back to your breathing. And when you focus on one thing, then you find that the other thoughts become a little bit more quieter. And so as I focus on my breathing, I breathe in something good for myself. And what I mean by that is I choose a quality to focus on. It might be peace or love or happiness or joy, you choose. But as I breathe in, I'm going to imagine that I'm breathing in that particular quality. And that quality is filling my entire being and my entire body, nurturing all the cells, the organs, as I breathe in. And as I breathe out, letting go of anything that's not wanted, anything waste, extra, just let it go. And so breathing in something good for myself, and breathing out and letting go of the extra. Filling my entire being with that particular quality. As I breathe in and I breathe out. And as I focus on my breath and the quality, it takes me to a place inside of myself, a place where I can be with myself not as the mother, the father, the friend, the teacher, the meditator, none of those labels. I can just be with me. And I can just explore my inner world of treasures, of virtues and powers. And right now, using the same quality that I chose when I was breathing in, I ask myself, what does that quality mean for me? And I listen for the first thought that comes to the mind. And if I have to give that quality an image or a symbol, what would that image be? In your mind, just visualize an image, a picture, or a symbol for your chosen quality. And as you explore that image, see if you can experience the quality on a deeper level. And for that, you might want to use the phrase, I am, and the quality. I am. I am. This is my original quality. And when I become aware of it, when it's on the surface, I'm able to use it in action. And so I think about how I can use that one quality in my day-to-day tasks. And all it requires is awareness. The awareness that the quality that I chose is actually who I am. And so once again, I am. I am. And if you can, just become aware of where you feel that quality in your body. Is it the heart? Is it here? The stomach? And now keeping that awareness of that quality with you, just come back to where you're sitting. Become aware of your physical surroundings. If your eyes are open, if your eyes are closed, you can gently open them. And so, if I can, maybe in a week, just explore one quality in my meditation, starting off with being mindful, present, but then asking myself, what does that mean for me? Because I don't know about you, but when I was at school, I didn't really learn about qualities and virtues. And even after meditating and you hear about them and you read about them, but they still have to become mine. And they can only become mine and a part of me if I, in a way, explore them for myself and I use my own language that can really create a feeling of that quality quite quickly. It may not be words, it may be an image. But I think for me to be able to use it in action, I need to be able to spend some time, if you like, churning and feeling what those qualities are for me. And so journeying inside and discovering those inner qualities. I didn't do the sense of identity. I think I'll leave that for the end, the last meditation. But the next step is, so once I've understood myself as a soul, as energy, full of all these qualities, the next question would automatically be, well, if I am energy and light, then where do I come from? All of us need a sense of belonging, a sense of security, if you like. And we may not find that in our physical location, but the soul can find that in its spiritual location. And so, again, going deeper, when I'm able to use the power of silence and peace to connect to my home, the home of all of us originally, which we call the soul world. And so it's very important that I feel I have a sense of place. I think physically we all need to know that we have a sense of place, that, you know, this is perhaps my room or my space. And even when we're in conversation, in a certain kind of boundary where you feel more comfortable when somebody's talking to you. And if they come a bit closer, you find yourself stepping back because there's a space that you need to feel comfortable in, if that makes sense. And so similarly with the soul can experience permanent security, if you like, when it experiences its home in meditation. And it's a sense of awareness that I can keep, just this awareness that I belong or I'm from another dimension, a dimension which is completely peaceful. So here I am doing what I do, but this awareness that any time during the day I can just stop and journey to a place of peace and silence, and in a way recharge my own battery. And it's just a thought away. And so we may have places that we like to go to feel relaxed, to feel energized or happy. And of course, during lockdown, perhaps we weren't able to go to those places. But with my mind, and where the soul wants to go all the time, is a place which is completely unlimited. A place where I can completely experience rest and comfort at any time, And I think as we go through, you can probably hear those sirens that are going. I'm on a main road. But as we go through the times, I think we're going to need to be able to experience this dimension, this world of silence more and more, because it's going to allow me to be stable in this dimension, this physical dimension. And so just imagine a world of light, a world of peace, which the soul already knows. And so when I am soul conscious, the soul doesn't need a map to get to the soul world. It will go there automatically. And so yes, the foundation is mindfulness, but then secondly is the foundation of soul consciousness to be able to experience our eternal home. And of course, every home has a parent. And the parent of that home is, of course, the divine. Call it a higher power, call it God, call it the supreme soul, whichever term you want to choose. People call it the universe, whatever. But ultimately, my sense of stability will come when I connect, not just to the home, but to my supreme parent, to the supreme soul. And I feel that meditation is really about being able to change all the things that are stopping us from being happy and light and peaceful. And those are the weaknesses that exist in all of us, be it anger, be it attachment, be it ego. As soon as I forget who I am, then those things are going to be there, ready and waiting. And so when I experience that connection with the divine, I think for me, what it's done for my life is that it's not just making a connection. People often feel that connecting with a higher being or having some amazing experience is the destination of meditation. It's not for me. It's not for me. The connection with God or the divine is the means for my own transformation. And so we can all have wow experiences in yoga and in meditation and say, wow, this is what happened to me. But if I don't apply it, and if there's no practical change in my own personality, my own behavior, then for me, I would ask myself, well, what's the point then? What's the point of meditating? And so I think that's where, for me, there's a slight difference in mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness is the foundation, as I said. But if I just stop at mindfulness, for me personally, yes, I'll feel relaxed. But what it won't do, it won't allow me to change those parts of my personality, those habits, if you like, that I've been carrying for how many years that I am. And none of us were born angry. None of us were born fearful or anxious. We acquired that as we went through our experiences. And so ultimately, the ultimate goal for our yoga is to be able to take power from that source, from the divine, so that I really see my own inner treasures clearly. It's like looking in the mirror and saying, wow, yes, it's possible to be peaceful. And all I need really is 1 minute, even 30 seconds of an experience of myself as a soul, or as myself connected to the divine. Because what that 30 seconds does, as I said before, is that it challenges my belief that I can't manage my mind, because I can't control my mind. My mind's all over the place. But you just spent 1 minute with yourself, connecting to a part of you that you hadn't experienced before. And so what that does, when I experience it deeply, it's like being thirsty for more, and then wanting to explore that on a deeper level. And there's a saying that I really like, that the greatest authority is my own experience. But I need to be able to create space in my day to go inside and experience some of these things that I've been sharing on a deeper level. Experiencing those qualities, experiencing myself as not just this body, but just as energy, but also more importantly, experiencing my home and of course, God, the divine. And when I experience the divine, it's really thinking about the unlimitedness of those qualities that God has. God as an ocean of love, an ocean of peace. And so just that scene, that opening slide, imagine just being on the middle of the ocean. You're on your back, lying down. But there's a feeling of being connected to something that is unlimited. And when I explore that, what it brings is an amazing feeling of joy and happiness. And just a feeling of being connected to the whole, because the divine, the source, is just one. And so what that means is that we're all connected. And that's an amazing feeling of just being at one with yourself, but also at one with the environment, at one with each other, and of course at one with the divine. And for me, I feel this is the destination of meditation.